ground a devil's stream. Fire rains, the battle calls. Demons dance as heaven falls. Choirs wail, the damned ignite. Infernal's wrath, eternal night. Steel bites, the heavens quake. Flesh and bone, the earth will break. Ashes rain, the reapers feast. Darkness spreads, a crimson beast. Thunder cracks, the end draws near. Hope draws in the ocean of fear. Angels whip their wings in flame. Lost to the void, none remain. Fire rains, the battle calls. Demons dance as heaven falls.
Hello. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Let me get my face. Boop-a-da-boo. Hello. Hi. How are we doing today, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Tee-hee-hee. It's Friday today. It is, let me tell you, hot outside. It's been the ongoing trend lately between humidity and the heat overall, but my goodness, is it just as hot as can be outside right now. Every day it makes me more and more excited to look forward to the water wars. The opportunity to be able to fight one another in order to gain access to water. Go ahead and start stocking up on your, 50 gallon barrels that you can get a hold of at like Home Depot to get your water storage, get a bunch of cleaning tablets. How is everybody doing today? If there's anybody out there, I hope your day is going absolutely splendid. I am gaming today, a nice easy day to round out the week before getting a bunch done this weekend, hopefully. Not going to be on but a few hours, but I have a new profile. Let's turn this music off. I've got a new profile that I've just started up in Stardew Valley, and I thought that we would get started playing this in a couple of minutes. What's going on, though? There's all kinds of fun going on in the world. Things are escalating in DC, more fights breaking out between citizens and the armed military that's gone in at the command of God Emperor Trump. So that's really exciting. Things are escalating. I've seen quite a few videos at this point of oh, there it is. I've seen quite a few videos at this point of people getting into scuffles with the police in DC, getting into scuffles with the deputized ICE agents, but they're arresting people like crazy. I don't know if it's specifically the National Guard that's been brought in arresting people yet, or if it's just every other governmental agency that's landed in the zone, because they've got FBI riding along with local police. They've got ICE agents that have been deputized that are riding along as well. They've got all kinds of fun stuff at the moment going on in DC. I saw a video of somebody on top of a bridge screaming at oncoming traffic to turn left to be able to avoid all of the road closures that they have all between 14th and Pennsylvania. Excuse me, I had air in my belly. But they were telling people to turn to be able to avoid going through the random checkpoints and stoppings that they have all through the roads. They've, as I mentioned yesterday, just sort of implemented stop and frisk just to your own racial biases go ahead and stop whoever you like. And yeah, the crackdown's only getting worse and worse. I believe that they are trying to do this to force an escalation on the side of the public as a way to validate their purpose for being able to go in. But we'll see what ends up happening. You know, I still can't believe that one of these deputies that go up to people unmasked, especially in like stand your ground states, haven't been shot at already. But hey, I guess people are more restrained than I give them credit for. So that's going on. What else is happening? Epstein files are still up in the up in the hoopla. Republicans are inconsistent. They care so much about pedophilia, and yet they don't do anything about, or they're not wanting to do anything about the Epstein files. I saw a poll the other day from Trump supporters that said 47% of them would still, or yeah, 47% of them would still support him, even if he was found guilty, or even if he was implicated in everything to do with Epstein. They wouldn't care, and we always knew they wouldn't care. They were never going to care. But you have that going on as well. You have Palestine is being victimized to their final stages. We've already been seeing the starvation campaigns. We've already been seeing the rampant discrimination. We've already seen the rampant killing that the Israel are doing, the IDF is doing against the Palestinians. And they have sectioned 1 million Palestinians off to their final sort of area inside of Gaza before they are permanently exiled and removed and, you know, ethnically cleansed from the land. So that's absolutely horrifying. I saw a map earlier that I haven't been able to find since of what they are now constrained to. And when you combine that with the aerial footage of from the Jordan supply airdrop that was flying overhead, when you combine those two things and videos of, you know, children starving, people in Palestinians in Gaza being killed daily. It's really curious as to why I had chatters in here last night asking why Hamas wasn't caring more for their people, as opposed to spending their energy asking. Like, they came into a stream with a total of 4 people at the time. With them, it became 6, and they decided to spend their time arguing with me about the faults of Palestine, as opposed to using that energy and going and talking to, I don't know, maybe Zionists that are still promoting the genocide happening. Like, there's other better uses of time than talking to a little cheesemonger just starting out. And yet you decided that you wanted to come in here and talk to me about everything that Hamas and the Palestinians are doing wrong. I would say you can go fuck yourself. So that's happening. Palestinians continue to be genocided with American dollars. From the taxpayers. Netanyahu will not be stopped. He's already signed all of the papers going over their final stage solution plans, and it's happening. You know, it's coming to an as best I can surmise an end, and here we are, still allowing it to happen. Still our government is sending money to it. Still you have Bernie Sanders, our bastion of hope, unable to call it a genocide. So you have AOC, who is on the side of populism and on the side of leftism and the betterment for people. You have her voting against restraining money from Israel. Like, you're really going to vote for sending money to Israel right now? And you're supposed to be our moral standing leader? I don't know about that one, y'all. I simply don't know about that one. Hopefully something can be done in order to stop the suffering of the Palestinians, but I don't see what that is exactly. So that's happening. That's horrifying. We have rampant transphobia. That's nothing new, though. The homeless are being rounded up. That's not necessarily anything new. All of these fun different things. But what we do have to look forward to is Stardew Valley. There is at least one thing to look forward to, and that is Stardew Valley. So I need to switch over to my little face. Whee! And now we've got our big screen. Now we have our volume. Do we have any volume from it? Where is the volume? Did I mute it? La la la, pardon me while I try to figure out the volume issue. As I said, I hope everyone's doing all right today out there. I hear that there's a new hurricane that's going to be coming through at some point, so really looking forward to that happening. Let's see. If I Okay. Okay, there's something. There's something. But why is it showing up so low over here? Why is that so quiet there? Is it quiet over here too? It is quiet over here. Let me pause that. Boo boo boo. No, not that. Properties. La di da di da di da. So we have the display capture. Why is everything so quiet though? I maintain. We're just going to run with that for now. Let's see. Do I have any music over here? Audio. We absolutely love testing as we go through. Bum, 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 bum. Did that fix it? No, it didn't seem so. Let's see. No. From game on OBS. Boop, boop, boop. Game capture. Oh. Did that fix it? That did not fix it. What is going on? My goodness, I'm having so many audio problems. I apologize for anybody that might be listening. This has got to be incredibly boring. Let's put on something that we can listen to. Let's see. While I figure this out, let's just put on. What is some good news? Sam Bentley, show me some
Hello,
good
my
news.
friend, and welcome to this month's Good News Show, where we take a look at what's gone right over the last month, and hopefully I can give you a much needed break from doom scrolling. If you're new
That was
here,
loud.
I'm
Sorry
Sam.
about the
I make
volume.
videos about good news and solutions to some of the world's biggest
Sorry about
problems.
that.
And if you've been here before, it's lovely to have you back. And if you're enjoying these good news roundups, tap that like button to help fight the doom and gloom in the algorithm with a bit of positivity. Now, let's get into it. Here's some good news from July that you might have missed. In a historic move, Mexico has passed a nationwide ban on dolphin shows and the use of marine mammals in entertainment. Backed unanimously by both the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies, the new law prohibits dolphins from being used in performances, therapy, research, or breeding programs unrelated to conservation. This decision follows growing public pressure and recent outrage over a controversial dolphinarium in the Riviera Maya. The law is a direct response to years of investigations and campaigning that exposed the suffering of dolphins in captivity. Studies reveal that over 300 dolphins in Mexico have been confined to tanks, forced into performances, and subjected to chronic stress, disease, and abnormal behaviours. Dolphins already held in captivity cannot be released but must now be cared for under strict welfare standards for the remainder of their lives. Mexico now joins Costa Rica and Chile in banning dolphin shows, marking a major victory for animal welfare in Latin America. This next story takes us to the US and one of the coolest names for a swamp I've ever heard. One of the largest wildlife refuges in the US was just protected from mining. A $60 million deal by the Conservation Fund will stop a titanium mine near Georgia's Okefenokee Swamp. The non-profit bought 7,700 acres from Twin Pines Minerals, ending a 6-year effort by Georgians and folks across the South to protect North America's largest blackwater swamp from mining. The Okefenokee is home to alligators, wood storks, and bald eagles, and mining will not only have threatened those precious species, but also the swamp's water levels, the St. Mary's River, and critical carbon stored in its peat soils. And the Okefenokee isn't just an ecological treasure, it's an economic engine for the region. Over 800,000 people visit the swamp each year, generating nearly $100 million for local communities in Ware, Charlton, and Clinch counties. This is sustainable long-term revenue that supports local businesses, jobs, and families, in sharp contrast to the short-term gains of mining that would have primarily benefited outside interests. Next, researchers from Sweden and China made a breakthrough that may help deaf people restore their hearing. In a world-first clinical breakthrough, a cutting-edge gene therapy is helping deaf people to hear just 1 month after a single injection. The study followed 10 patients aged 1 to 24 with a rare genetic form of deafness caused by mutations in the OTOF gene. Each received a single injection of a healthy version of the gene directly into the inner ear. Within 6 months, all participants' ability to hear improved, going from barely hearing extremely loud noises to being able to detect everyday sounds like speech and conversation. One 7-year-old girl recovered almost all of her hearing and was holding daily conversations with her mother just 4 months later. And scientists say that this is just the beginning. They're now working to target more common genes linked to deafness, bringing hope to millions around the world. From water companies dumping raw sewage into our waterways.
Oh, did that do it? Seems like no. Seems like that didn't do it. Remove view, yes. So how do I... So there's display capture and game capture, window, mode, capture specific window. Stardew Valley, Right. That's set there. Go to properties. Okay, sure. That's fine. So there's that capture, and then there's display. There's desktop audio. There's desktop audio. Scene, media source, image, game capture, display capture. Is it input capture? No. Audio output capture. Game. Game? No, that's not what I want. How difficult? We'll put back this on.
Is why their CEOs take massive bonuses to toxic runoff from industrial chicken farms that suffocate fish and destroy ecosystems, and of course plastic pollution. Our rivers are under attack from all angles. But this next story is about some graduates who are stepping up to tackle one of those threats. Graduates from Princeton University developed a filter that pulls microplastics out of water before they reach the ocean or our bodies. It's called Polygon, and it's been trialled in New Jersey right now. It was started by Princeton grads Nathaniel and Idian, who were tired of watching governments ignore the microplastics problem. So they built a smart filter that copies how plant roots work. Plants' fine hair-like fibers grab onto microplastics in the water, kind of like...
Let's try restarting the game. God damn it. Damn it all. Damn it all. All I had to do was restart the game. Anyway, we have audio. Good news, everybody. We have audio. All right, sorry about that delay. I'm a new streamer. It's a new job. Learning these things as we go. Oh no. Oh, it's so loud. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was so loud. So loud. Hello. All right. Anyway. So we're playing some Stardew Valley today. Let's get started. We finally did it. We finally got in. But we learned something new today, and I think that's very vital. Do I have two mics going? No. Microphone. Anyway, we have some Stardew Valley here. Nope. I already started a game. Silly me. We have a new game that we just started. I chose the, I think, Meadowlands Farm. I'm going to be upset if I didn't choose Meadowlands Farm. And here we go. All right, what do we have? Parsnip seed. Ooh. Thank you, Mayor Lewis. Da-di-da-di-da. All right. What is back? What are the controls? All right, let's see what the weather is. It's going to be clear and sunny. How exciting. We have the fortune teller. They're in good humor. Great way to start. Great way to start things. I love this game. I haven't played it for too incredibly long. I've done a couple of farms here and there. But I'm a really big fan of the mechanics. I grew up playing a lot of Harvest Moon, and this very much works in in line with that preferred game. I'm going to go ahead and clear all of this grass because I'm just going to plant stuff here anyway. Now, a lot of the grass on the Meadowlands farm is specifically bluegrass. if you cut down this... This is not the Meadowlands farm. This is not the Meadowlands farm. This is not it. All right, we're making a new character. Hair. Oh. Where are you? Is that it? Yeah, that's that one. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having fun. Let me know if you have any cheese questions. I'm here answering any cheese questions you might have. I'm a professional cheesemonger. I love cheese. My favorite cheese is called Hallerhocker. It comes from Switzerland. Absolutely delicious. Tastes like butterscotch when it's younger. It tastes like banana as it gets older. Yeah, it takes on like more banana tastes, like banana Laffy Taffy. Name is going to be Yamau. It's my preferred name on Stardew. It's from my favorite One Piece character, Yamato. Farm name is gonna be Cheese Farm. Favorite thing is Oswald. That's my doggy. That's him right there. That's Oswald. Meadowlands. We have the Meadowlands farm. Sure, whatever. Shirt, yes. Pants, yes. Accessory, no. Skip intro, yes. Is that everything? Oh, hair. I almost forgot hair. Let's go a little bit more there, a little bit more there. About there. That looks pretty. Yeah, that looks good. All right, now we are actually ready to go. We have the Meadowlands farm. I was given hay. What a wonderful thing to start with. I actually don't like that as much as parsnips, but that's all right. We are just going to get started with cleaning things up. Oh, spirits in good humor. I did not see what the weather was actually looking like. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be sunny. My two of my favorite things. All right. Here we have our farm. This is gonna be our base of operation. We are gonna start by clearing out some of this area to grow some stuff, so that we'll go to Pierre's in just a bit. I don't want to try to min-max this game too much. I've gone really hard with a previous Stardew farm, and I think I'm just looking for a little bit more of a casual playthrough experience this time. Not as intense. I've never been camping. Speaking of tents, it always scared me, the idea of going camping, sleeping out in the woods where animals are. Oh no, a tree! I got some mixed seed, though. I can use it. La la la, did something. It is, speaking of performing labor outside, that is the last thing that I would want to be doing. I don't know how we're going to continue working, like having people work outside, when this is like what the new standard for outside is going to be. Like 126 degrees in Vegas, 122 degrees in Turkey. These are not, like, it was 90 degrees with heavy humidity outside earlier, and I thought I was going to die. It's just not sustainable. But luckily, Stardew Valley gets us the experience of working on a farm without actually having to work on a farm. Speaking of farm work, you know, I have always had a love of the idea of farming. You know, I think it comes from, again, I played a lot of Harvest Moon growing up. There's I think a little bit of a romanticism ingrained in me a little bit with it. But once I got into cheese, I learned about just how shitty doing farm work is. I worked on a farm a little bit in high school with a friend of mine, but it was a horse farm, and a good bit of time was spent, you know, dealing with shit, shoveling shit, sweeping shit, cleaning shit. That was most of the job a lot of the time. And when that was just a horse farm that had about that had about 8 horses on it. You get a dairy farm in which you have a whole herd of cows that you have to manage and maintain and deal with and maintain all sorts of things. Like you have to make sure that you're swapping your cows with other breeds, with other families, so that you don't singulate out the gene pool. You have to make sure that you're getting the cheese at the time of year that your cow has cheese. There's only a limited amount of time cows actually produce cheese, and that's if you're not dealing with goats and sheep, which are on completely different timetables for each other. For when they produce milk, they only do it during certain times of the year. There's all kinds of complications with farming, and it's also, not to mention, with cows, you have to get up at 6 a.m. and about 6 p.m. typically to milk every cow. And that's a non-negotiable daily thing that you have to do. Like it's back-grueling labor. I mean, Stardew Valley is certainly a part of the problem of that. Like the romanticism of like peasant life, as if like living off your own land is anything glamorous whatsoever. Like the Stardew Valley / Tradmon pipeline is horrifyingly close together. But the romanticism behind like, oh well, I just want to like have my homestead and have a couple of chickens and grow some crops and what. I don't think anybody that does that realizes the amount of food that they need, or anybody that wants to do that realizes the amount of food that's required on a yearly basis. And making that food yourself from complete scratch that you're growing in this fashion, that sucks. That really sucks. It's Abigail. I'm planning on marrying Abigail. She's the only person in town that I think is fun, I guess. Moving into the old farm. Good to meet you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a shame. Hopefully you'll change your feelings towards that someday. We have 500 buckaroonies, and we want to spend all of them. Parsnips are usually pretty good to start with. 4 days to mature, so you get a quick turnaround. I wouldn't mind doing that. I'm just debating if I want to go ahead and throw any potato seeds. I don't think I do. Don't think so. Yeah, we're gonna go with no to the chair. We're just gonna go all parsnips. Let's get wild. Let's get wild today. I hope everybody's feeling wild in chat, because that's what's happening. We're going to be getting wild today with some parsnip. Whoa. Over for my water. I don't know if anybody out there is a One Piece fan, but if you're not, I highly recommend getting on board. There's no time like the present to get started watching it. It's just the best story. It's the modern day Odyssey. Hello, how are you? Welcome in. It's good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Hope you're surviving in this dreadful heat that we find ourselves in every day, closer to the water wars. I am doing swell. I am playing some Stardew Valley. I am planting some parsnips. Honestly, the two biggest dreams I've ever had in my life. I hope you're doing well. How are you doing? It's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. Hope life's been treating you okay. Life can be hard in this crazy rat race of a world. I feel like it's a shittier oftentimes than not. So, whatever we can do to maintain our sense of self, maintain sanity in this world. Hey, great. What are you studying? I love studying. Are you in school right now? I did not like studying in school because school was lame. I love studying in my free time though. But let's make a chest. Yeah, I also listen to streams while I study. I have a One Piece streamer that they stream every single editing stream, or every single time they edit for any of their videos, they stream the entire editing process, but it's just them ripping off the cuff, and it's just that's usually my go-to. But there's just a plethora of hours. Like you'll go through periods where all of a sudden you get like 4 8-hour streams that you get to listen to, and it's like, ooh, it's a rich week this week. Great time to be alive this week. Can I make a chest yet? I cannot make a chest yet. I don't have enough wood. I'll go get more wood. Shouldn't be too hard. Just chopping some wood. Law school. That's incredible. Ooh, blueberry cheese. Blueberry cheese is yummy. I don't think it was goat cheese, but it was white and creamy like brie, but not brie. Was it like more like was it more like sort of like creamy, like almost like an ice creamy sort of texture? Or was it more like a liquidy, ooey gooey? But law school, that's a super, maybe ice cream texture is a bad way to describe it. I'm trying to think of like a chev goat cheese is usually like the white fluffy kind that has like sort of like a kinetic sand. Almost that's a great way to describe it, actually. See, this is why I'm excited to stream, is I can work these problems out loud with people that I have in my head. Yeah, like a kinetic sand sort of like texture to it. That's usually like a fresh goat cheese. The more runny interiors, the more like liquidy interiors, those are usually like more cow cheeses or goat or sheep. Usually cow milk cheese, but with blueberries, that sounds delicious. That sounds like a goat cheese. But oh my gosh, law school, that's incredibly impressive. Is there any specific area of law that you're going for? Or is it just a general? Pardon my ignorance on the law school system. Oh yeah, with the Meadowlands farm, we start out with chickens. I love fresh goat cheese. That's, again, kinetic sand sort of texture kind. It's so delicious. Oftentimes it's a little bit more sour, has more citrus notes in it, a little bit more lemony overall, but really good flavor. There's a creamery in Indiana that I usually recommend to people called Capriole Creamery, but they have a lot more traditional French-based cheese or style cheeses made in Indiana at a local goat farm. But the lady who owns it, her name is Judy. She's a salt of the earth. Been making cheese for I think 50 years now. Environmental law and trial advocacy. You're my hero. You're my absolute hero. The more the merrier. Yeah, the ooh, I forgot to water the plants. That's a oopsie doopsie. Oh well. I'm already out of energy. I'm not going to stress about it. That's incredible though. Congratulations. I hope it's been going well so far. Can't get through. I can't get through. All right, yeah, the amount of lawyers that we have in this country, person to meet, is always disappointing. Especially the amount of lawyers that care about things like environmental law and trial advocacy. That's that's always extremely exciting. Anyway, I don't mean to keep on distracting you from your studying. Oh, already closed. Oh man. I am excited. I'm starting this Monday to do cheese classes. I'm going to be doing cheese classes in the comfort of my home and streaming them. I recently moved into a new place. I have a bit more of a bigger space. I have a more convenient kitchen set for more conducive for things like classes. And so I'm going to change my my setup around. I'm going to move over there. But I am a big fan of the story called One Piece. It's the modern day Odyssey. It's absolutely incredible, absolutely incredibly written, beautifully written. The writer, author, mangaka Oda is extremely talented. One thing that I like about One Piece compared to like when you look at a text like the Bible, for instance, one of the issues that I have is that at no point in anywhere in the Bible does it say that slavery is bad. In fact, it says that slavery is good. When you look at things like Harry Potter, you have a slight advocacy for against slavery, being Hermione, and she is constantly made fun of by every other person. Which sure might be a commentary on the fact that it is something that normal people don't care about, but you could also very easily argue that it's not addressed, as far as I know, by the end of the story or fixed. Again, just maintaining the liberal aesthetic and agenda around slavery and around the systems of power that already exist, not wanting to like systematically, effectively change any of those systems. But in One Piece, they actively tell you slavery is bad. There's too many and not enough. Yeah, too many in the wrong direction, I would say. It says insurance companies should sue fossil fuel companies to collect for climate change damage. I mean, absolutely. There's I'm sure you've heard of it, but there's there's a tribe that's had absolutely zero impact on the on climate change as a whole, and yet they're having to now completely abandon their land as sea levels rise, and they're losing the land that they've lived on for their entire culture. Like, they have nothing, they've done nothing wrong, and the actions of these companies are going to disenfranchise, displace, and ruin the lives of all of these people. And I assume that it's probably going to happen with no reparations given to these people. They'll be taken or removed from their land. They'll be dehumanized. If anybody even cares. We'll all be, underwater soon anyway. But yeah, where you have stories like Harry Potter that like to maintain liberal aesthetics and maintain current systems of power just with the person they want in charge. Instead, you get cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. Thank you so much, spam. One Piece is a story that's got some great morals, some great story beats, as opposed to, again, something like Harry Potter. If they have insurance, their insurer would sue Exxon or whoever to help cover the damages. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's exactly the way that it should be. The way that these companies are able to destabilize these places, and not even more importantly, but also the way that they're able to strip the resources of the land itself is absolutely monstrous. It's what gives them the right to that land to permanently scar and market? What gives them the right to, because they have a deed? That's really cool that you have a piece of paper that one government says that you have a special power or privilege over this piece of land that is owned by nobody, by the entire earth. What gives us, a human, more right to that land than any other creature on this earth, than any other fox on this earth? So I absolutely agree. Insurer should sue Exxon, or somebody should sue Exxon and whatnot, or hospitals and medical insurers should sue DuPont for dumping chemicals in the Delaware River that cause cancer. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Also, going after like real estate developers that build apartment complexes directly next to the highway, companies that are building data centers that are stripping protections for water safety, destroying like all of the fracking that destroyed, I'm blanking on the name of the town right now, Flint. The fracking that destroyed Flint. Like the fact that there are people there that's their lives are still so affected by this damage done by this company is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah, it's a crime to be poor these days. I'm too poor to be poor, you know? It's going to rain all day tomorrow. Thank you so much, Stardew Valley. That's wonderful to hear. Spirits are perturbed today. That's disappointing to hear, but on the bright side, it's gonna rain tomorrow. Ooh, I've got a fishing pole I can go get. That's gonna be good for money. Let's just go ahead and water these plants and we'll go grab our fishing pole. Then we can start working on getting some money together to buy the things we need. Yeah, as far as I've been able to tell through any of the research I've done in just about anything, overall, it seems like every problem can be relayed back to capitalist interests, whether that's in maintaining profit margins through the empowerment of specific companies, or whether that is to brainwash the populace into through fear-mongering and a control of media. But capitalism seems to be the cause of basically every issue. And the brainwashing towards capitalism is just so pervasive. Like, why do they dump the chemicals into the river? Because it's cheaper to do that. Why do they bring in labor from? Why do they bring in undocumented labor into companies? And then why do they call ICE on themselves once those employees start getting a little bit too comfortable to the point they're talking about unionizing? They call ICE on on themselves, so that way they'll come and they'll take the employees away, get rid of them for the company, and then the company will pay the fine and then bring in a new batch of undocumented workers. Like, I would call that a problem that comes from capitalism. I know they're pretty unrelated to things, but I get sick just thinking about it. Makes me want to throw up. $8.40. Let's go grab those spring onions real quick. That sounds like a good plan. Retweet. It'd be like that though. It was I had my first argumentative stream with people last night. I don't know if I'm really going to interact with Zionists all that more often, but last night I did have a couple of Zionists that came in towards the end of my stream that wanted to argue with me on the situation, the genocide happening in Gaza as they approach their final solution, and as almost every Palestinian faces like stage 5 malnourishment. They wanted to come in here and argue with me on the crimes that Hamas is causing and the problems of Hamas. And when I asked them for an article, not only did they link me a ChatGPT article that they found, so you know I really trust their sourcing on on anything, but they also bring me specifically, it's an article that when I go to their argument was that Hamas was using their own people as human shields. And so I went into it and found out that the actual thing the article was talking about was that there was a doctor that Hamas at one point shot and then used as a human shield, but he was completely unrelated to Palestine. It was just a lie. Their source was just a lie that was provided by ChatGPT. And that was about the point that I said, okay, I don't care about this interaction anymore. I'm done talking to you. But it's a really fun environment I've discovered very quickly, as I expected it to be. But by the same notion, earlier in the night, I had somebody that wanted to come in and argue their transphobic talking points for a while. And when I really pressed them on actually defining what their argument was, they finally just responded with, "Oh, actually, I don't care. You know, I was able to." I don't care. I just came in here because I thought it's fun to troll, and I wanted to come in and I wanted to debate something, and I thought it'd be funny. And I was like, it's really cool, you know, that you can come in here and laugh and joke about the rights of trans people, as in, like, currently in Odessa, Texas, somebody can report you because they think that you're trans, and you can be arrested. Like, it's illegal to be trans in some places right now, and it's really cool that you get to joke around. At least they were honest, you know. I wish they hadn't wasted my time to begin with, but I do appreciate that they are willing to say, like, oh no, I'm just an asshole. You know, You're right. At least they were honest about it, as opposed to like the virtue signaling or like, no, I really do care about this. At least they were able to say they don't care. But how nice to be able to use your uncaring attitude to be able to have fun with the lives of so many people. At least they were honest. I get so frustrated with the bad faith depictions. I'm not transphobic, but here's every transphobic thing that's ever been said ever. Oh, you change trans people's names for free? That's incredible. That sounds absolutely amazing. That's the kind of advocacy I'm here for. That's the kind of system I'm here to support. You know, groups like that. I was talking yesterday about how we can't trust in the establishment Democrats. We can't obviously trust in the Republicans. But if there's one thing that we can trust in, it's our local communities, our local advocacy groups, our communities. Oh yeah, $1,000 is absolutely insane. Not to mention all of the complications that come from life. As like, you know, any woman who's been married before or anyone who's changed their last name before can tell you. Like, changing your name in general is already difficult. That causes so many issues and also opens you up to like so many more threats in terms of like identity theft, in terms of like complications of documents. There's so many issues that go along with it, but just like everything else, they being the conservatives, Republicans, don't actually care about the anything along those lines. But we don't have a community, or we don't have leaders that we can believe in. But we do have, a lost book. We do, however, have advocacy groups, individuals, community leaders that actually care and try to help people. Oh, you can get the court to waive that? That's awesome. I didn't know it was 2 newspapers now. I knew it had been 1 newspaper. Which is I think just a specifically trans thing. I don't believe anybody changing their last name due to marriage has to do that. Perfect. Thank you, Judge. We appreciate you. We appreciate your labor. Ooh, hi, Abigail. Oh, sorry, you're not in a good mood. Didn't mean to upset you. Is the library open? I want to get rid of this. Or not the library, the museum. Yeah, I thought it was just one newspaper that you had to get it done at. I didn't realize that it was 2 newspapers, but yeah, it's a painful process. And you know, dealing with the government is always just so easy to do. Oh, sure. Yeah, I remember I had somebody at one point, it was a friend of mine, and they were starting their transition, and they said to me that they were excited about their move, and I said, oh, where are you going? And they said that they were going to Utah. And I'll be honest, I don't exactly know what things are like in Utah specifically. From my understanding, not great towards trans people. I know things are bad a lot of places. Right? Like, is that really where you want to go? You can't. I'm pretty. If memory serves, in Utah, you can't have people make alcoholic beverages in front of you. They have to go into like a back room and do it separately. Like the things that happen in Utah are wild, and it's pretty though. I've heard it's pretty. Oh, Pennsylvania. I'm so excited I'm moving to hell. Good news, I've decided to go to the worst place ever. It's so hot. Yeah, Salt Lake City. Where is this book? Oh, there it is. I'm so excited I'm moving to hell. I went to your pie yesterday and thought about you, actually. I just remembered that. It's funny I find you in here now. Thanks for stopping in. Don't know if I said that yet. Good to see you. I have missed you. I was gone from Columbus for a long time. It sounds Sounds like you might be you're gone as well, but I just moved back to Georgia, and I am excited to be back in the state. Chicago is far too cold of a place. I'm sure you if you're near Pennsylvania, you probably experienced some of that cold as well. I never had to deal with the Ohio winters while I was in Ohio. It was just just in Chicago and New York that I've had to deal with. Oh, and Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I was there for I think just a weekend, but it was a very, very cold weekend. Oh, Philly, hell yeah. I haven't been to Philly yet. I need to go to Philly. I almost went to Philly once, and then our flight got canceled, and I ended up going to New York instead. But I need to go to Philly. I do love a Philly cheesesteak. I also remember seeing an incredible, I think it was a fried pork chop sandwich from a food truck that I've been desperate to find at some point in my life in Philadelphia. I don't know where, I don't know when, I don't know if, but I remember seeing a video that somebody ate a really good looking, it was a whole pork chop that had been fried and put onto like a really heavily mustard sandwich. Oh, it looked delicious. I love sandwiches. If you ever find yourself down there, New Orleans, best sandwich shop in the world is called Turkey and the Wolf. Absolutely delicious. My favorite is they have a sandwich called the collard green melt. It is a sandwich that has collard greens and has coleslaw on it. It's so tasty. It is so delicious. It's 3 pieces of rye bread, coleslaw, rye bread, collard greens, Russian dressing, and then another piece of rye bread to top it off. It's the best sandwich in the world. But I hope you like Philly. Like I said, I've heard good things about it. Yay, fishing time. I love fishing in this game. I love fishing in this game. I don't love fishing in the real world. I've only been fishing like 4 times. And one of the times that I went fishing, somebody told me that they were tying the hook onto my fishing line. And they said, okay. And I thought that was okay as in okay, go. I was, I think, 4 or 5 or maybe 6. I thought they said okay as in okay, go. They did not. They said okay as in okay, I've got the knot, but I still have the needle in my hand. That was a upsetting day for them and for me. I was traumatized. It rules. I miss Columbus sometimes though. It's like the impossible to be a lawyer in the South unless. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, that was. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. That was why I had to leave Columbus. Was I wanted to learn how to be a cheesemonger. I wanted to learn how to be a cheese expert, and yet there's not really that option in Columbus. Like you have Publix, you have Walmart, you have Fresh Market, and that's it in terms of cheese. Every one of those places, all of them use like manufactured, heavily industrialized cheese. For example, like the Saint Andre that you can find in Publix that says that it's like made in France. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, but sometimes that cheese is made in France. It is made separate from the actual French cheese. When in France you have cheesemakers that make the French cheese, and then they make the cheese that they know that the Americans will eat, and they make the American stuff, and they'll mass produce that stuff, and they send that out to the Americans, and that's typically where like Saint Andre comes from. They also use oftentimes not as clean or healthy milk sources, not as well regulated milk sources. Sometimes they import in their milk as opposed to doing it fresh from their from their own animals. But I look forward to trying to bring some of those things to Columbus. Better food knowledge, better food options in general, more opportunities for community building events. I don't know if you remember, but there's ladies that like love to sit around town, and they have a little sign holder that says like free Bible courses, and they have pamphlets that they hand out. I'm going to be doing the same thing, I think, except it's going to be saying free trans communist courses, and I'm just going to see what happens. Knowing this town, I might get shot, but well, it'll be fine. I'm who cares, you know? World's gonna burn in like 6 weeks anyway. I do worry about the increased police presence. I hear that the police shut down a Food Not Bombs event not too long ago during like an outdoor or market days on Broadway, which is pretty gross as far as I'm concerned. CPD needs to do better. Jehovah's Witness. Thank you. Trademark. I came up with that. You're banned. I'm banning you now. That's Jehovah's Witness is wonderful. I'm going to absolutely use that. Don't worry, I will provide proper MLA citation and turn that in. I will make sure that you get that. No, you don't have to give it to me. You can reclaim it. I'll just make sure I cite you for it. Make sure I put a trademark or copyright after each one. Full IP rights. Perfect. You want to hear about some dumb IP rights? Oh my god. Well, I guess it's not IP rights. I think it's copyright rights at this point. But there is a judge in North Carolina. So Gruyere is a cheese in Switzerland. Gruyere is a wonderful Swiss cheese, good for melting, good for throwing into mac and cheese, good for throwing into making a grilled cheese out of. Absolutely delicious, robust flavor, complex flavor. Anyway, there is a judge in North Carolina when the Swiss were trying to get the naming protection rights to Gruyere. The North Carolina judge was able to, because we are America, as far as I can tell, they were able to deny that judge's, or they were able to deny the country's name recognition sovereignty system that they were going to be moving towards, and just say, sorry, this cheese is already too copied by too many people in too many places, and we are just not going to do that. And so the Swiss government was not given name protection rights for Gruyere, which is, I think, pretty gross. You look at, like, when you go to Publix and you see, like, the cheese that says Parmesan, as opposed to, like, when you hear, like, Italians say, like, the Parmigiano Reggiano. That's because those are two different cheeses. Parmigiano Reggiano is heavily regulated. It has to come from a specific region of Italy, made in a specific way. As opposed to Parmesan can be anything made anywhere, made in that style, and you can call it Parmesan. There's no naming protection around it. They were trying to get that level for Gruyere, but they were not able to get the full naming classification system that they wanted. Instead, Gruyere anything can be called Gruyere if it's made in that style. The only difference is if it's true Gruyere, it is called lait Gruyere, or it is called Gruyere Alpage, are usually the two options that you'll see. Outside of that, there's a couple other types of Gruyere. I actually, on my Monday class, I have one of them. We're going to be talking about Swiss cheeses. We're going to be talking about a cheese called lait Tavaz. That's L''ETIVAZ. But it's a very tasty cheese. Right now, it's a little bit more aged, and as it gets more aged, it starts to taste like pineapples, which I don't know if you know anything about me, but that makes me happy. I love pineapples. I'm sure you remember my Twitter or my Instagram handle was pink pineapple 95 for most of my life. I want this fish. Oh man. Oh well, it's time to get ready for bed. Ooh, it's raining tomorrow. I might be able to catch a catfish. That's going to be a heavy task with this bamboo pole, but one can always dream. One can always dream. Yeah, I've been really upset about the amount of police presence that I've seen in Columbus, as I know that the city council is talking about rounding up the homeless population and putting them in, I guess, Columbus-based concentration camps, or like the detainment center outside of Columbus. But yeah, everywhere I go, I just see cop cars. Everywhere I go, it's tasty with brie. It's very good with brie. I love that combination. It's also really good if you freeze pineapple. You can freeze pineapple and then grate it on top of like fresh mozzarella or something like a fresh brie, grate it with like a cheese grater, and you get little pineapple ice dustings all over it. Oh, it's fantastic. You can also do that with peaches. You can also do that with plums. Plums are really good. If you freeze a plum and then grate it over either like a brie, or you could do like an Alpine style cheese, or even something like a stinky cheese, like an Epoisse, or a washed rind cheese. Oh, delicious. Let's sell these. Oh wait, I wanted those fish so I could sell them. Cheesy pineapple casserole. I did actually make that one time. I went into my casserole era when I was in Chicago for a little bit. The cold winters really led me to head in that direction. But yeah, cheesy pineapple casserole. I did that one time. A cheesy seaweed casserole. Really tasty. Southern delicacy. You want to hear something bullshit about living in Chicago? So I went to work one day. When I was there, I worked at a store called Italy. It was a big Italian like conglomerate grocery store. Had a bunch of products, a higher end store, but every single day we had around like 200 to 300 employees at any given time, and every day they provided a staff meal. Lovely thing to do, right? You would hope. Usually it was always very tasty. Usually they did a good job about keeping in mind people's allergies and dietary restrictions. But there's one day I go to work and everybody's running up to me and they say, Kevin, we have good news. It's fried chicken day. And I get excited and I say, oh, fried chicken day. And they say, you're from the South. You're going to have to tell us how it is. We value your opinion on this thing. And I said, oh yeah, I'll keep you posted. Once I go take my break, I'll come back, let you know how it is. And all day, I think I had like 6 different people come up to me and say, like, Kevin, it's fried chicken day. You're from the South. But yeah, that's the one thing you know about me. I'm glad you made that connection. And finally, I make my way to the break room and I get in there. It's chicken tenders. It's nothing but chicken tenders. There's no fried chicken. And I look at them and they look at me with smiles on their face and they say, yeah. Tasty chicken, fried chicken, tasty, right? And I say, no, this isn't fried chicken. And they say, what do you mean? Of course it's fried chicken. I say, no, I'll grant you, this is chicken that has been fried. Sure, absolutely. However, you're going to have to put my head on a spike before you hear me calling this fried chicken. I wanted to burn the place down. I wanted to move back to Columbus. I wanted to go to Hardaway High School and find Miss Edwards and have her cook me up a fresh plate of fried. Oh, I was fuming. I was crying that night, hoping for minis. But yeah, the people talk about Chicago being a great food town. Like, there's some good things in Chicago, and there's some good food. But like, I didn't feel like Chicago had like its own like sort of like culture of food in its own sense. Like, it was sort of just a lot of good options of like anything you wanted. Which, I mean, in terms of being like a good food town, like that's, I think, really cool and wonderful. But like when I look at like the things that make like a town and like a community, it's like here in Columbus, for example, we have like our string of like southern restaurants of different varieties that are all like, I would argue, like pretty equally good. Like Minnie's is your meat and three. You've got Plucked Up as a like nice breakfast fried chicken spot. Like there, you have a little bit of the you have the Hispanic culture through your staples like El Carrizo, El Vaquero. Like there's a lot of distinct places, and I think maybe it's just a matter of I got too lost in the sauce of being in a big place. I wasn't able, like, I know there's like different culinary centers, like you can go down to like Little Greece or what have you, but like, and get, like some food down there. But I also find like if you go to a place that is known for a certain type of food, that food is generally downgraded in quality. You know what I mean? Because like you're known for it, so everybody does it just because they know that people are going to order it there. Like if you go to New England and clam chowder is super popular, I guarantee you, not every I as I saw in Kitchen Nightmares and Hotel Rescue with Gordon Ramsay, not every place has a good clam chowder. Like there's this idea of because you're in Philadelphia, you're going to find a good, not to shit on Philly specifically. Okay, then yeah, yeah, specifically to shit on Philly specifically. But that's what I mean. Like, there's too many shitty cheesecakes in Philly. I haven't been there, but I can certainly see that being the case. You get too many people that are just, they have it on their menu because they know people want it and they know it's going to be popular because of where you are, as opposed to like places that are a little bit more like distinct and have a little bit more personality and a little bit more. And again, this might just be like me getting too lost in a big place like Chicago as opposed to a little bit of a smaller town. But when you're in such a big place, if you want something like specific, like in a sort of culture of that area, you're usually going to be subjected to like some shitty knockoffs of that. Yeah, I believe there's a lot of shitty cheesesteaks. You know what really gets me is the people that put cheese whiz on their cheesesteaks instead of like melting down like a provolone or anything. Like that feels like a lazy step to me. I don't know if you have a preference on your cheese for a cheesesteak, but I personally do prefer having like nice thick provolone slices that melt down a little bit. Hold up. Uh-oh. Whiz might be authentic. That doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it's better. You know? There's nothing authentic about air conditioning. Come on, I mean. Now, I have a place in my heart for like that manufactured cheese, like nacho cheese. I love. I don't mind Cheese Whiz specifically. In the context of that specific sandwich, I think it's a personal matter of there's already so much grease, and you're adding in a more, I guess, liquidy sort of like, again, messy quality of it. You order a steak whip whiz. What does whip mean? Steak nene whiz. Chicago is known for the Chicago dog. I don't know if you're familiar, but let me tell you, it comes with tomato. And not like diced tomato sprinkled on top with your relish. It comes with like slices of tomato on the side of your hot dog. As long as it's not Swiss. I mean, like I'm fine. I think it needs to be provolone, if anything, like a nice deli cheese, like yeah, exactly. There we go. Yeah, no. If it's gonna be a cheese on a cheese whiz, it does need to be a provolone, as far as I'm concerned. That does definitely make it a good deal better. Pepper jack doesn't sound bad. I'd be fine with a pepper jack. I mean, provolone's sort of one of the provolone's an interesting cheese in that it falls into the category of pasta filata, and so it's a sort of just there's not really anything specific about it. Pasta filata specifically just means stretch curd, and so or pulled curd, and so it's a cheese that they pull the curd and they stretch it and they form it into whatever shape that it's going to harden into. And so through that process, you have the name provolone comes from typically a caciocavallo style cheese, but it's usually a pretty like mild cheese. So as long as it's like like fairly mild in terms of like good meltability, I don't really have too much preference. But I agree with you. Like having like a Swiss cheese or like an Emmentaler specifically, I think that's going too far in the wrong direction. Like that brings in a lot more like floral and earthy flavors that I don't really think go too well in that specific context. But you need the peppers and onions to make it a Philly cheese. Of course, I don't disagree. The peppers and onions are non-negotiable. And also, who doesn't want peppers and onions? Eat your vegetables, people. Grow up. Go eat a Brussels sprout. I love Brussels sprouts. I think I'm making Brussels sprouts tonight for dinner. I've got a variety. Ooh, there's that catfish I was hoping for. No, I don't want it to die. I don't want to lose a dream. Oh, I lost it. Catfish are hard to catch. I wanted to say something. I don't remember what it was about. It was about food. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm making Brussels sprouts tonight. One of my favorite ways to make Brussels sprouts is I cook them in the oven for usually around like 25 minutes or so, I think, at around 420, because 420 is funnier because it's a haha funny number. Um, at 420 for like 25 minutes, and then after, and maybe like move them around, flip them around a little bit, like halfway through, maybe like 2/3 of the way through. And then afterwards, once you take them out of the oven, put them in a bowl and mix in a little bit of either usually I do balsamic vinegar and maple syrup, and mix it around with those two, just so they're evenly coated, like like you would want wings. Super super tasty, super good. That's my favorite kind of Brussels sprout. I love Brussels sprouts. They actually changed the flavor profile of Brussels sprouts to increase their popularity. Getting fresh ones as opposed to canned also help a lot in that process, but they specifically made them a little bit sweeter and a little bit less irony in its flavor around 2010. Yeah, it was around 2009, 2010, and that was when after that you saw a big push of chefs starting to use Brussels sprouts a lot more often in their restaurants. Damn it, algae. I didn't want you. I wanted a catfish. 37? Last year I had 39! I need to work on my impressions more often. Like an hour a day for each of them. Just so I can really get them all nailed down. But that was my Dudley Dursley impression. Raggy. That was Scooby-Doo. I just found out I've always had a big appreciation for voice actors. One of my favorite actors is Andy Serkis, and I try to say actor as often as possible for voice actors as opposed to just voice actors, because I feel like that's like, I understand the distinction, but you have situations where you have like Andy Serkis, who's I think one of the most incredible actors I've ever seen, who's been robbed of every Academy Award for everything he's ever been a part of because his face wasn't on screen. But I just found out the other day that it's Alan Tudyk that plays Sonny the robot in iRobot. That led me down a trail of finding out that it's Alan Tudyk who plays the voice of every person from everything I knew in my childhood. I've got to fish first before I... Oh, no. Sorry about that noise. That was the Roomba finishing up. Thank you, Roomba. Good work today. I'm proud of you. The relaxing... Oh, there's that catfish again. But this is the moment. Oh! Yes, forever! Ow! I've been thinking a lot lately about the David Hasselhoff, Jekyll and Hyde. We should really be talking about it much more often as a... As it should be. As it should be. I mean, can you blame us? The SpongeBob movie had just come out a couple years before that. There was such an obsession with David Hasselhoff around that. He's such a cool guy, you know. My favorite part about Hulk Hogan dying was everybody finding out how shitty of a person he was. It was like when Rush Limbaugh died. Best response I heard after the news, or after we found out and the news came out that he had passed, was, "How can you be pro-life and dead?" Oh, Rush Limbaugh. Ish. I think Ozzy's starting. Oh. He's been taking a nap. He went over to he went over to Grandma's earlier and ran around in the yard for a little while. After that, he got a little bit too belligerent as he was a little bit amped up and too excited to listen to the instructions he was being told. He was starting to get a little bit rowdy. We recently, Oswald and I moved in with my partner and her cat, and so we are adjusting to having another animal around. So I said, you know what? We're gonna take a nap. We're gonna have a quiet stream day today. I'm not going to yell at transphobes. You're not gonna bark alongside me. Got blocked by Columbus' state senator on that day. Oh hell yeah. What a shitty day. Yeah, I need to find out when the city council is happening. I just found out this past Tuesday. I think they passed the vote on cleaning up the streets of downtown Columbus. So far, I haven't seen anything. I walk around down there in the mornings with Ozzy and give out water to anybody that can find that needs. And I haven't noticed anybody that's missing, anybody that's not been there on my normal morning routine. But I've only been doing that for like a week now. So I don't entirely know if like they've started arresting people, but I imagine if they're going to start in downtown. Granted, maybe not. Maybe they don't want people to see that, all the tourists to see that. Maybe they'll just keep it happening on Macon Road. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch a catfish with this fishing pole and this level. That's all right. There are going to be plenty of other chances when it rains here in this month. I'm sure of it. I don't want to get blocked by a senator. That hasn't happened in a while. Ooh, there's that catfish. I saw a video the other day. I was watching a Try Guys video. I think it was Keith eating everything at the Cheesecake Factory, but I had it playing in the background as I was doing some cleaning, just because I needed some noise. And all of a sudden, I look up and there's somebody on screen with them, and I said, "Is that Thomas Sanders?" And yeah, it was Thomas Sanders from Vine. Speaking of memes from high school, fuck. Speaking of memes from high school, though, a blast from the past. I had completely forgotten about Thomas Sanders. Anyway, we're just doing some. Oh, I want a catfish. I want a catfish. So the goal, I haven't mentioned it. The goal in this Stardew campaign is to get cows, get sheep, and get goats. We want all three, however, only cows and I want it. No. Only the cows and goats will produce milk for us to turn into cheese. But for us to do that, first I've got to get some levels, and I've got to get some money together for us to be able to fund our needs. Geode. Crap. Let's see. Oh no, it went away. Oh well. We'll call it there. I'm almost out of energy anyway. But so I'm going to work on getting my barn together, work on getting the animals together. But we have to finish cleaning up our land, cleaning up our crops first. Hello, welcome people in. I'm a cheesemonger. Let me know if you have any cheese questions. I hope we're having a good day today. It is hot where I am. Let me tell you, that is why we do farm work in video games and not in real life. I forgot my inventory was full. We do farm work in video games, not in real life, because it is too hot outside for that kind of labor. La 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 la. Oops. La 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 la. All the rest. We will sell all of this. And let's go grab those couple pieces of wood I just chopped before I forgot my inventory was full. So as we work through things, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to be naming our animals. Always very exciting. I already know what sort of theme the name will be once we eventually get pigs. I already know what theme we'll be going with for the pigs. Do we have any name themes that would go with cows? Anything that would go with cows? Cartoon characters? Where is it going? Cheeses? Cheeses might not be a bad one. You just name them all different cheeses. Cow's milk cheese, goat's milk cheese. What do we name the sheep then? The sheep we can name. Never mind. we can just name them after sheeple. Steven Crowder. We can have Tim Pool. We can have Asmongold. Those will be our sheep. And then for pigs, we can name them after cops that have gotten qualified immunity. I love it. I've been thinking about starting a series on Instagram of taking selfies with in the background cops that I could get away from on a foot race or on a foot chase. Because there's a lot of old cops in this town. Beautiful sunny day tomorrow. I want rain. Oh, absolutely. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there. This world's terrible. Be safe, but thank you. Much love. Stop by Pierre's. Check it out. Okay, thank you. Then there was one. I wonder who that is. Who are you people? Who you calling Pinhead? So we've got our parsnips growing. Those should be all done tomorrow. We've got our farm to clean up. We've got a lot of rocks down here. We got fishing we could do. I want to get that backpack. That would make life a lot easier. I'm going to fish until I get the backpack. And I think I'm going to go and spend a little bit of money on the training rod. Wait, yeah, the training pole. I think this is the next one. Whee! All right, let's a little bit real quick. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum. I like Sanji. Sanji's a wonderful character. I remember when I first saw Sanji, I was taken aback. OG Sanji, while I enjoyed him, he was not what I was expecting. I started One Piece when it was still on 4Kids, and it had really funny voice actors at the time, and specifically Sanji was what's the word? He was a smoker. He was a cool guy, but he had a very loud and proud, if memory serves, oh wait, he wasn't a smoker in this one. I'm forgetting. He had a lollipop. That's right. This is the 4Kids version. He wasn't a smoker. He had a lollipop, and he had an Italian accent, and he had a little bit of a gangster voice, if memory serves. But the 4Kids dub definitely did a lot of damage to those that might have an interest watching it growing up. Oh god, they did such a bad job of making it with the censorship, with all the different pieces of it. But oh no, didn't do that. Anyway, I like to make cheese. We are going to make cheese. We're just getting this farm started, so we gotta clear everything out real quick. We gotta get rid of it all. Gotta clear it out of the way so we can have plenty of resources, plenty of all the things we need. There we go. Right, we're making some good headway. Making some great headway. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum, bum. I am really tired of people telling me that I need to get caught up on shows that I simply don't have time to get caught up on. It's heartbreaking. Also, I also need people to stop recommending Marvel shows to me, Star Wars shows to me. There's just too much. There's too much to watch. There's too much to keep up with. There's too much just information out there. Too many intersecting storylines. Too much has been retconned. Some stuff matters from the comics. Some stuff doesn't. I think really hatchet that buried itself into my skull was seeing that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be coming back for Doctor Doom. I don't have anything against Robert Downey Jr. I love Robert Downey Jr., but like, just leave him dead. Like, cool, sure, he's from the multiverse, but like, I don't want my image of like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man tainted by having Robert Downey Jr. play another character in the same universe. Like, I'm sure they'll be vastly different, but I also wonder what, like, how much different are they going? Like, are they going to try to make sure that it's so different? Like, he's such a different person that he's like, that it feels bad for the character? I hope not. I hope not, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know these things. I do love the fact that Superman was so popular. I still need to see that movie. I still need to watch that movie. I appreciate the fact that he has a silly costume. I think it's important for our leaders and our community protectors and those who would are supposed to be sources of security. I think it's important for them to one, be easily visible, two, not look intimidating. And when you have like a cop who's dressed head to toe in like navy, like are meant to make them blend in and are armed wire, it doesn't exactly make me feel safe and wonderful going up to them and asking them for help. as opposed to Superman, and specifically this Superman, who is that more caring, less of that Zack Snyder verse, more of that you know, the Superman that is willing and able to save a squirrel. They gave him a goofy costume, and they specifically thought that costume was important because of his approachability and the fact of exactly like I said. Oh no! Oh, I already have the better pull. That's heartbreaking. I already have the bamboo. That's as good as it gets. I guess we just go fishing. How sad. How sad. But like having somebody approachable, a child can run up to, and feel again not intimidated. Feels like a nice way to go about things. Every cop needs to be dressed up like Buggy D. If you don't know who Buggy D Clown is, I recommend reading. But like Buggy D Clown, just be silly. And protect and be silly. As opposed to protect and serve. Protect and serve who? Silly. Damage are gonna do. Probably some still. They'll find a way. Life always finds a way. I should watch Jurassic Park again. That's a show I haven't watched. A show? A movie I haven't watched in a while. Didn't they come out with a new one? Did they come out with a new Jurassic Park? Am I crazy? I think they came out with a new one. I wonder if that was good. Wasn't Scarlett Johansson in it? I don't know. I don't know. But I love Jurassic Park. Great series. The Chris Pratt ones, less impressed by. I think a big part of it's the loss of the puppetry. I really like the fact that there was a puppet / CGI implementation, as opposed to mostly CGI. I think that made all the difference. I think the original dinosaurs look better than the Jurassic World dinosaurs. I think you could probably easily argue that, and I'm sure somebody out there would argue that with me, but they look really good. I've tried several times in my life to learn the dad whistle, and I've never been able to. Despite my many efforts and doing I've watched videos explaining, no, you hold down your tongue like this, you press your fingers together like this, you put it this far into your mouth. But no matter what I do or try, I just can never make it happen. Maybe it's a matter of lack of lung capacity. My years as a smoker is catching up. That's probably it. There's no way it helped. Okay, I've got some snacks so we can keep on fishing for a little bit longer. That's right, we're out here fishing. We're fishing fish, we're fishing for compliments, fishing for money. Anything and everything. Not that, we didn't want that. I mean, nor do we want that. And it's done. Well, that's not ideal, but we got a couple fish there. We got another sunfish. Always exciting. But yeah, the 4Kids version of Sanji was done very dirty. While I was very enamored with the fact that they brought in the pretty tweet. I was very sad once I knew that he was a smoker and that he smoked and didn't just hold on to a lollipop. Really sad that I didn't have the OG Sanji to look up to growing up. Smoker. That's probably copyright. but Sanji is definitely my favorite One Piece character. My next favorite, I have a tattoo, or actually have a tattoo of, got a tattoo of my cousin that has Sanji. My next favorite character is Yamato, and I've got a tattoo of him as well. Only one I'm missing is a character named Katakuri. Going to be one at some point. Tattoo. I feel so gross having tattoos on my body. Ugh. And Ba-na. One of the fun things about liking Yamato, fight a lot of transphobes. So he, him pronouns, especially anime being such a teenage boy environment, written environment. Sometimes people that have some bigoted views can be found in those spaces, and they certainly like to rear their heads sometimes. And when they introduced a hot character that presented femme but uses him pronouns and masculine pronouns and identifies as a man, they absolutely flip the fuck out. They have no idea what to do with that information. And I think a lot of that just comes from their own confusion about like, oh well, if I want to have sex with them and I admit that they're a man, and that makes me a little bit too gay. Like I think it's a lot of just like homophobia that they have inside of them themselves. But it's at the very least an opportunity in which I get to argue with people that do not have the prerequisite understanding of biology or the subject matter to like even be able to converse with it. So I just kind of get to like walk them through the conversation as I want. It's a better it's a preferable way to go about it, as opposed to somebody who already has all of the talking points ready to go that I have to spend the time dismantling. It's so pretty in this game at night. This is such a pretty game. I think this game is a great example of like, just because low quality, just because like bit size, that by no means determines the quality or enjoyability or beauty of a game. I think this game is absolutely beautiful. I'm sure there's plenty of Fortnite players out there that would disagree with me on definitions of beautiful, but the fact that this entire game was made by one person, every aspect of it, the animations, and also it probably speaks to me a little bit playing a lot of like old sprite Pokemon games from back in the day. But ooh, we leveled up mining and level 2 fishing. Good day to be us. Good day to be us. We only got 284 gold though. That's not ideal. Oh, our parsnip should be done. Parsnip should be done. Weather report, clear and sunny all day. Good humor today for the spirits. Thank you, spirits. Ozzy! I woke up the real the real Ozzy. Oh, how handsome. Oh, what a cutie. I guess I think this place needs a dog. Oh, not Ozzo. Ozzy. Wait, are my parsnips not done? I'm gonna flip if my parsnips aren't done. I'm gonna fuck. Not Joja Mart. Oh, I don't know why they Joja Mart would even reach out to me. Let me have my way. Let me burn Joja Mart to the ground. Down with the oppressive capital owners. Down with the owner class. They really supplanted communism into our media growing up. I was thinking about Bug's Life the other day. That entire movie is about like resistance and dismantling systems. SpongeBob, we will rip the boards of we will rip up the boards of oppression, board by board. They go hard. I've been forgetting to take care of the chickens, haven't I? Sorry, y'all. Let me grab some hay for them so they don't hate me too much. And we'll put that away for them. La 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 la. Hang on. Let's say. Good boy. Good boy, Azzy. Oh, good. Ozzy's being such a good boy right now. I hope he's not gonna get too confused. I put that there for nothing. Hope he's not gonna get too confused. I have to be careful about using his name when talking about the game dog. I've already said it a couple times, and he's scrambling now. Like, what? What are you trying to say to me when I'm stuck in here? He's taking a nap right now. He's had an active day. He went and did laps around the backyard in the hot, hot sun. It's disgustingly hot. Oh, I don't like the heat. I like the cold. I don't like cold like I experienced in Chicago, where, you know, I remember one day it got down to negative 30 degrees. It was blizzard conditions, and I call into work and I said, hey, we're not open today, right? And they said, of course we are. Get on in here. Like, excuse me? I don't know about this, guys. I don't like the cold. I don't like being that cold. I just needed to maintain being 68 or less. Like 68 to 42. Anywhere in there, any day of the year is fine. I think I might watch some One Piece tonight. I've been storing up on episodes, saving them for after I was done moving, and with tonight being the start of the weekend, it feels like a good time to get going. So next week I'm going to have my schedule set on Twitch for right now. The schedule that I'm going to be streaming, it's going to be a little bit more than I've been doing every day so far, as this is just sort of in my first week and foray back into it. But with the class next week, I'm going to be streaming on Monday from 2 to probably about 4:30, and then every other day it'll probably be something along the lines of like 12 to 5, Tuesday through Friday, something like that, maybe 11 to 4. And we'll be talking about news. We'll be talking about whatever the hell is happening. We'll be talking about probably the continued destruction of Gaza. And we will then come back and play more Stardew probably on Friday. But aside from that, in terms of personal goals, I'm going to start working on my own One Piece video essays, specifically The first one I'm going to be working on is talking about the correlation between Yamato and the transpanic that we see on a daily basis, and how those two intermingle and feed each other. There's One Piece's relationship to liberalism compared to other pieces of media that we're going to be talking about, or that I have a video for. But I haven't actually started making videos yet, so I also need to practice the video making software, using DaVinci Resolve for it. But excited to learn about how to do that and get better at that. I've only posted like 2 videos so far, aside from just like my full VODs onto my YouTube. That just being one chapter review for One Piece, as well as one video I think titled like Bro Culture and Denial of Genocide. But I'm excited to make a lot more. That's the goal anyway. That is the goal. Inside and outside of that, I also have cheese dealings, hopefully, that will be starting at some point, including cheese classes, including catering, and so a schedule for streaming would be adjusted as needed, but I'm not there yet, so that's not a concern I have at the moment. That is not a concern for now. That is a concern for later. That's my favorite type of concern. Making something future Kevin's problem, incredible. Incredible stuff. I like the bluegrass a lot. I think it's really pretty. So I generally don't like using fences in this game. What I did last time was I built a bunch of the, I don't think I have it yet because I'm not the high enough foraging level for it, but I build the mushroom logs, and I use those as fences. You have to build a lot of them. It takes a lot of hardwood and a lot of moss, but it looks really pretty, and you get mushrooms every couple of days from them. I had so many on my last farm that every 2 days I would get like $80,000 from it, but it was a pretty decent source of income. It was certainly not bad. You get a bunch of rare trees everywhere. All right. Parsnips done. Thank goodness. Deluxe fishing pole. Perfect. I hope it's only 1,000. There's, I believe, another foraging level. Sell all of them, but the gold. Keep the gold for the community center. We'll keep 5 for the community center because I want to grow other things. I think you need 5 for the community center plus 1 gold. Or is it 5 gold? It might be 5 gold and 1. We'll keep 5 for now. All right, so we need to go see. Do we want to get the fishing pole before the backpack? I think we do. So yeah, I say we go see a guy named Willie about getting a new fishing pole. Hopefully it's only 1,000. Actually, probably even some time. Deluxe fish. It might be 1,500. To hold off on changing our rod right now. We'll just keep the bamboo pole and do some fishing with it. Fishing pole, perfect. And we go down here. Da-na-na. What good music. I'm excited about my cheese class on Monday that I have coming up. I'm going to be streaming from here in my apartment, and I'm on my computer, so I can just point it at my kitchen. But my kitchen has a chalkboard built into the wall of it that I'm going to be able to use for putting notes down on, which I think is going to add a really nice part of the aesthetic of the class. But I'm very excited to get started. This week we're going to be talking about alpines, and one of the fun things about talking about cheese. Oh. Ozzy almost made me mess up. One of the really fun parts about talking about cheese, getting into a lot of the nitty-gritty details. For instance, biological factors that play a role in the development of cheese, the way that how the sun cooks the food that the cow is going to eat is going to interact with the flavor profile of the end result of the cheese. Talking about how different foods going into the diets of animals interacts in different ways and gives you different flavor profiles in the finished product. There's so many cool things about cheese. I can't wait to talk about. We're also going to be talking about tastings. We're going to be talking about pairings, things to use it for, ways to cook it. But I am quite excited about the prospect. Cheese is just such a good food. It's so easy to store. It lasts for so long compared to milk. There's so much protein built into it. I also prefer a lot of the alpines because there's less salt in alpines compared to other cheese. Another benefit. I would prefer to get the chest as well, but oh well. Dog food is so expensive. It costs so much money to get dog food. All right. Ooh, 2 hours of streaming. How exciting. 2 hours. It's 4 o'clock. I might go ahead and round out here in a couple minutes. I might finish up this day and call it good for this first week that we've done. But I need to get started on cooking dinner before too long. And then I've got a bunch of chores I've got to do tonight and this weekend in general, so. Don't leave me, don't leave me. But with the cheese class on Monday, I didn't really get too much into it on the post I just made about it on Instagram not too long ago. But I'm also, after the cheese class is done, going to be reading and reacting to the new One Piece chapter that comes out. Usually this happens every Sunday. Sometimes they skip a week, but I'm just going to be doing the class, I think bi-weekly. Just do it twice a month right now. Couldn't be too difficult to maintain in terms of new cheeses available, in terms of opportunity, in terms of personal cost and time. But hopefully the cheese class will last about like an hour and a half, and then it'll be like an hour to an hour and a half long chapter review and talking about it. But very excited to get started. Very excited to get started. Get out of here, paper. Stupid fake news. Fake newspaper. Ozzy, stop. Ozzy, stop. I'm biting his paws. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'll be very angry. I'll be furious. Trash. Go get trash. Ba-dum, 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 bum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Mm-hmm. Got it. Is that me gaining a level? I think that was me gaining a level. I don't mind. I'm fine gaining a level. You're not going to hear me complain. My best friend's about to get to my favorite part of the story in One Piece, and I could not be more thrilled about that fact. Getting right up to the 800s in episode count, but my goodness, is that some impressive work. I'm proud of them. Oh, I missed it. That's what I get for stretching. It's nobody's fault but my own. Oh, but it was a good stretch. All right, let's see what we can get from this fish. I think this is gonna be our last catch for today. Another bass. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go home. Let's get to Betty by time. Hi, Marty. I need to go find my dog. I need to pet my dog, and I need to sell this fish. And I think we're gonna call things there. I think we might just call things there for today. Again, next week I'm going to actually put my schedule on my Twitch page, so all of my followers can know when to expect me, as well as try to get the YouTube and shorts stuff figured out this week. But in the meantime, I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend. I hope that everybody has an incredible day. an incredible rest of your night, that you're able to stay safe, that you're able to stay hydrated, and that you're able to fend off any transphobe Zionists that you might have to deal with in your day to day. But with that, everybody stay safe, everybody stay good, and everybody stay loving. Bye. Oh, wrong screen. There we go. Bye.